Hello Sagittarius, thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Star Tarot by Kathy McLeland. Website at the top here is kathymcleland.com. Feel free to check that out if you're interested. Supportive Oracle cards, Magical Spell cards by Lucy Cavendish. Illustrated by Jessie Reish. And the website at the bottom there is hayhouse.com. Alright, Sagittarius. What do we have for Sagittarius? Oh, that's very close. The Ace of Pentacles is showing up a lot today. And it's not a bad card. The Ace of Pentacles is a really good card. You're the first one I've seen updated, or reinforced with the Sun card. Okay. You're just now being included, is what I keep getting. You're just now being included. This is interesting, because for some of you, this could be a work thing. And I feel like you've been treated well, and people have been nice to you, and it does feel like you've been appreciated in this situation if this is hitting. In fact, for some of you, it's almost like maybe you have one of those jobs where there's a few different facets to it. This is the facet where you seem to get your accolades, where people appreciate you. So if you're like, I have 4 or 5 different things I do at this job, what are you talking about? The one where people admit that, like, oh yeah, Sagittarius is really good at that. They do really well, they get that ahead of schedule, they get that done as it needs to, it just kind of flies off the handle, but Sagittarius pulls it back in and puts it where it needs to go. I'm also getting like, this is when it started, so keep that in mind. Well, it does say new beginning. So you might want to also kind of look back, if this is a work thing, when you first started, maybe that's how you were treated. Maybe that kind of disappeared over time, but maybe this is when you started this situation. You got a lot of praise and people said, yeah, you do that good. And that's what Sagittarius does, and we like Sagittarius in that. You've learned a lot ever since this started, though. I feel like I've learned a lot, and it's not like I've been trying to keep it to myself, but I feel like I have been. Kind of like, well, as things come towards me, I just deal with it, and I learn as I deal with it. Okay, that didn't work, do this. Okay, that's better, but this would be even better than that. Oh, hey, somebody told me that this is how they do it, so I upgraded it and tweaked it a little bit, and that actually works perfect. Okay, so you've learned how to do things. You've kind of just like made efforts better, learned as you went. You weren't trying to keep things to yourself. It's just like you just had one thing to do after the next, so you didn't have time to tell people every little thing you did, especially because Sagittarius tends to be quite busy. Currently, I feel like, again, you're just now finding out about it. They're just now letting you into it. Something is coming in. It's been quite talked about that you are very self-sufficient when you have to be. So it's almost like if you get stuck on an island, you'll make it work out. It's not like you want to, but you're like, I need to eat, so what do I got around here? It could rain, what am I going to do to, like, is there a cave? Do I need to make a shelter? You know, the water, is it salt water? I need to boil it so I can drink it, blah, 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 blah. You just kind of like, well, you just keep moving. You just make it work. Especially if you're the one who is in control. This is going to be one of those things where I feel like people want you to be in control, or you might be working by yourself, so you're just expected to manage your own time. It might be one of those things. There's a lot of earth energy pulling you in. Now, this is an energy which there's a 6 to 1, half a dozen to the other. Very much like that you get things done on time. Maybe not such a fan that you get them done very close to the deadline. And maybe not such a fan about the way you do them. But you do get it done well. And you do make the deadline. I feel like you do make the deadline. This is an energy that kind of like, they like that you do what you do, but they don't like to watch. They don't want to see you do it. They're like, if I don't have to watch Sagittarius, I'm fine. Because they will get it done. They'll get it done their own ways. You'll do it the way you need to do it to make it successful. They just don't want to watch. I don't think that's bad. I feel like most Sagittarians, I feel like you know that some people appreciate you from a distance because the way you work, they just don't mesh with it. They just don't. They like that you're successful. They like that you get it done, but they want to order it. They want it more. They're more stifling. They're more suffocating. And if they just back off and leave you alone, that's when you thrive. And this person seems to get that. This might be one of the reasons they were kind of a little bit more reserved on letting you in on this situation, because they weren't sure they wanted to have you as a permanent piece, because they don't like watching you do what you do. They like the outcome. They love the outcome. They don't like watching. So it's kind of like, it reminds me of running. I like to run. Sometimes I just prefer that I like that I'm healthy afterwards. Sometimes that's all that keeps me going. Like, do I want to run today? No. Do I want the outcome? Yeah, so I do it. There's a lot of communication coming forward about this, and there's a lot of rules. Are these rules? How are these rules going? There's a lot of rules. It feels like that, even though that's the King of Swords, and that's a compatible card for Sagittarius, it feels like there's a lot of rules, especially with that Earth connection and this King of Swords. Hermit, which is another Earth card. Six of Wands, half in, half out. Negotiate these terms. As soon as they bring them forward, negotiate these terms. Don't be afraid to. I almost feel like if there's a way to do this, if there's a way, say they want it like, I'm going to need this done by Friday at noon. And you're like, okay. And there's a bunch of other rules. Hey, how about this? I'll do it my way. And if we do it my way, I know there's certain rules here, you don't like how we do things, but I'll do it my way. And then what I can do is we can update that. I promise to get it to you by the end of Thursday. I'll do it my way. I'll have it to you by the end of Thursday. That way you have half the day to look at it. Or, you can look at it that night. And if you don't like it, we can do updates. Something like negotiate the terms a little bit. Negotiate the terms a little bit to your advantage. Don't be afraid to. I feel like this energy understands, whoever this person is, they understand they have to give you room to breathe if they truly expect success from you. You need that room to breathe. If they're going to suffocate you, you're going to perish. You're just not going to make it. So I feel like they understand that. Negotiate. I don't feel like this is like a thing, but they're saying use your negotiation power. You got the Queen of Swords on your side, King of Swords coming in here. Don't get caught up in the gender, but it's kind of like you have what it takes to hold your own with this energy. These are equal. The way I read these are equal. So hold your own in this. Negotiate this the way it needs to go for you so you can have that success. This energy, whoever this is, seems to understand that needs to happen if they really want this to get the highest level of success. I feel like you're trying to plan ahead. But be realistic to how you do things. You're trying to really think this out. You're trying to really, do the right thing and keep like, okay, how do I need to do this? I feel like you're trying to plan it here. The Hermit is about introspection. It's very Earth. It sometimes talks about Virgo. You're not a Virgo. You're Sagittarius. I know, but it's kind of like a lot of introspection. Don't beat yourself up about it. What I'm getting is kind of give yourself that honest moment, like, all right, I can do this for maybe a couple days, but after a couple weeks I'm going to want to strangle somebody, so I got to make sure I talk about that and kind of like let me do my own thing. If I can get this energy just to back off and stay away, you don't need to see what's going on here, as long as at the end result is the result you want, you can look at it then. So it's almost like, if you're a baker, stay out of my kitchen, and then when I've made everything, or I've made the cake, or I've made the dinner, and have everything where it's supposed to be, you can come in and check things there, because everything will be cleaned up and put back where it's supposed to be. But don't be hanging out in the kitchen breathing down my neck, because I'm going to beat you with a ladle. Don't do it. I'll beat you with a ladle. I really will. And I'm not going to be nice about it. You're not going to like it. So if you thought you were, you're not. I feel like if you can get them to just stay off you for a while and give you your space, I get that you're going to thrive. You're going to kick it out of the park. It's going to go exactly where you need to. They're going to get the outcome they want. It's kind of like, give me space. Give me my space, or I'm going to beat you with a ladle. I don't know why, but that's making me very happy. The thought of just smacking somebody with a ladle. I wouldn't do it, I hope. But just like, stay out of the kitchen. Or I'm going to see this ladle, out of the kitchen. Just get out of here if you know what's good for you. You have better ways of saying it, I'm sure. But, you know, stay out of the kitchen. Tell them, stay out of the kitchen. Let me do what I have to do. After it's done, after I've cleaned things up and you got what you want, you can come in and check things out. All right. I feel like this is going to work. It's very interesting because they like the outcome. Ironically, they do kind of trust you. They just may have a micromanaging control freak type thing going on there that's not healthy for anybody. So you calling them out on it on your terms, it's good for you, but it's also good for them. They need to kind of back off a little bit. Sometimes people who micromanage tend to burn themselves out, which, stop micromanaging, you know, stop it. It's stressful for them to not have. This person might have this need to micromanage whoever it is. It may be stressful for them, but it's successful. I don't know. I do feel like they like you, by the way. So they're throwing in the friendship card here, saying this person does like you. They just want to micromanage things and they want it done. I just feel like the way they would have you do it is very suffocating. Just tell them, get out of the kitchen. I'll beat you with a ladle. I don't know why I'm so tickled with that comment, but there you go. After the first few times of doing this, because this doesn't feel like it's a one-time event, I feel like you're going to set a pattern of them leaving you alone. That's going to be the pattern. You want this, stay out of my way. Even if they're like bringing you the groceries, you give them a list of what you need. They bring you the groceries, all right, out of the kitchen. Don't talk to me until I call you. And I'm not going to call you until I have things ready to come out. In fact, it reminds me of like these 2-level kitchens where you have the front part where you put everything out there that is ready to go out. Then there's the back part where you do the major cooking. You're not allowed in the back part. You only come in the front part when I call you. When I call you, there's stuff out there for you to take out. There's stuff out there for you to handle. You stay in the front part of the kitchen. I'm going to be in the back. You don't come back here. Not while I'm cooking. I feel like there might be like a 2-level thing here, if that makes sense. Like there's half, if the kitchen is divided in half, they're on that side when you call them. When you call them, that's it. Stay over there. And then only when everything is done and cleaned up are they allowed in the whole kitchen if they really have to. Because I feel like this is setting up a great pattern for you. That's the Ace of Pentacles I was talking about before. Then the Sun card comes in here with the Fool. Yep, the Fool, the Sun card, and the Wisdom. Establish these rules. Keep these rules. You will be happy and they will be happy. And when I say they will be happy, that's as happy as they can get. Let's put it that way. They will always have the need to micromanage or over-control things. That seems like a personality flaw with them. I'm getting the hiccups when I'm talking about it, I'm noticing. That's a them problem. That doesn't need to be a you problem. I wouldn't even suggest in trying to help them deal with it. Tell them to find a psychiatrist. Work out ways to deal with that and calm that down. That's not for you to handle. That's for them to handle with somebody else. The more you do it, the happier the situation will be. I keep feeling like some of you are going to try to help them manage that. Don't help them manage that. Don't do that to yourself. Tell them to see a psychiatrist. Seriously. Not in like a negative way, in a positive way. Because psychiatrists usually are armed with like procedures and ways and things to think about and, you know, exercises to do to calm that down. That's what they go to school for. Just kind of say, go see a psychiatrist or a therapist or whatever. And they can help empower them in a way to calm that down. Don't pull yourself into it. Don't do it. It's not good for you or them, I'm telling you. Anything else with this? I like this. This is like one of my favorite decks with the Sun card. I love the Sun card. I just think it's the greatest. It's so pretty. But to me, that's the best outcome you could get. That's totally the best outcome you could get with this. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.